If you've been going to Barry sessions or HIIT classes every single day and you still don't like the way that you look, there's a big reason for this, and here's why. Now, everybody thinks I hate Barrys, which I really don't. I think they're great. I think they're good from a social component. I think they're good for cardiovascular fitness, and I think they're good for just getting you into a gym setting and getting you feeling good as well. Especially if you've got your friends or anyone else that goes and you go as a group. I think they're amazing from that perspective. But when we're looking at actually building a body that you love, there's a reason that even though you go to these sessions every single week, you still look exactly the same. Now, the biggest reason for this is, number one, these are built for everybody. Now, when we're looking at getting a body that you really love, we need to make sure that whatever you're doing is systemized for you. We need to make sure that your training is systemized to you. We need to make sure that your food is everything that you need to do for the results that you want. We need to make sure that your cardio is in line with what you need as well. So that's the first big reason, is they're built for everyone. Now, the second big reason is when we're looking at getting defined, when we're looking at building muscle, looking at building strength, getting lean, there's a big component which actually enables us to do this. And that's what we call progressive overload. Now, progressive overload, which I'll dive into in a little bit of detail later on as well, is basically the main staple building block for actually growing muscle tissue. And you're going to be missing out on this when you're doing any of these Barry sessions or any of these fitness classes as well. And then number three is they're purely just conditioning and cardio classes. So we actually use these with our clients. If they love Barrys, if they love going to these fitness classes, we utilize these to make sure that we're doing them from a cardio perspective, but we're not doing them to build muscle. We're not doing them to get toned. We're not doing them to get lean. We're making sure that we're doing them from a conditioning point of view, because the cardio that you love is going to be the cardio that you enjoy. But the big thing is, if you want to get toned, we have to have an element of weight training plus the Barrys on top. Ignore the fact that this is a terrible drawn triangle over here as well, but there's three base layers that I consider when we're looking at getting toned, when we're looking at getting defined. And if you follow these three simple steps, you'll be able to get far better results than just hitting Barry sessions as well. So up in this top section here, we have our cardio, right? So this is going to be your output essentially. This is going to be your steps that you're performing daily. This is going to be your cardio as well. So I know I've just written that up there, but this is basically going to be any sort of like running that you're doing. This is where we can utilize those Barry sessions, those F45 sessions, is this top triangle here. Now, the issue that most of you have is you just focus on this section. You just focus on doing the Barry sessions, which essentially means that we're just doing one component of the three layers that we need to be focusing on. Now, the second component to this is going to be strength training and resistance training, which essentially just means you're going to be getting yourself into the gym and you're going to be lifting some weights essentially. So this is going to be our weight training. Now, if you remember earlier on, I spoke a little bit about progressive overload. So progressive overload is essentially adding more stimulus to our body every single week. So when you're going into these Barry sessions and you're lifting weights and you're thinking, do you know what, I'm going in and I'm doing all of these things over here. The issue is you're lifting the same weights every single week and there's not a clear progression plan. So what we actually have to do with our weight training is we need to go into the gym, we need to lift a weight to a true point of failure where we can't get any more reps out of that movement. We're gonna log the weight that we use, we're gonna log the amount of reps that we performed, and then going into the gym the next week, we're actually gonna increase on that. So what this basically enables us to do is create more stimulus to that muscle tissue. Now, creating more stimulus to the muscle tissue means that you're actually gonna grow muscle at this point. So when we're combining these two together, and I'm gonna run you through the third layer of this triangle in a moment, but when you combine your Barry sessions with your weight training, you've now got the perfect pair of cardio and also your weight training on top of that. Now, the third component kind of ties all of these together, which arguably is going to be the most important thing, because if you've got a pizza without the cheese, without the toppings, and without the base, it's going to be a very bland pizza at that point. So your bottom layer is going to be everything to do with your recovery and to do with your nutrition as well. So if you want to make sure that you're achieving results far greater than you ever have at the moment as well, we need to make sure that these components down here tie in with the results that we want to see over here as well. So pretty simply, if your goal is to lose body fat, we have to look at some equations that we need to do. So from a food point of view, I want you to basically take your body weight in pounds, and then what you're going to do is times this number by 12. So this is going to give you an equation. Now, let's say, for example, this comes back and it says 2,200 calories. This is the amount of food that you're gonna be consuming every single day. Now, before we get too complex and focus on fats and carbohydrates and all of that stuff, we then just need to work out how much protein we need to be having. And I want you to be targeting 1 gram per pound of body weight. Okay, so for most men, that's gonna be anywhere between 160 to 220 grams of protein per day. That's gonna mean that we've effectively got enough protein going in every single day to recover from those weight sessions. We've got enough calories going in every single day to fuel the cardio sessions as well. Now, if you want us to do all of the thinking, and this is kind of confusing you as well, one of the big things that we help our guys with as well is making sure that we break all of this down so you don't have to worry about working out how much resistance training that you have to do, how much recovery you have to do, how many calories that you have to eat as well, what weight training even looks like, what your Barry sessions look like, and how we sort of combine all of this together. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about what we do here, I've left the link down below. You can just jump on a call with me. We can see if we can actually help you as well. But again, if you're getting a little bit confused by this. So we've got your cardio, we've got your weight training, we've got your recovery, we've touched on nutrition. Now, the next big thing that we need to make sure that we're doing in line with recovery as well is sleep. One of the most underrated aspects of actually getting in shape. And I've done a webinar to the team recently on sleep as well. Studies show if you get underneath 6 hours of sleep every single night, you're going to be retaining more body fat and you're going to be building less muscle tissue, which is kind of a recipe for disaster as well. And then obviously within this is going to be minimizing alcohol as well, which is a big one. I'm not down the line of telling you to not drink. I think it's important to kind of understand what happens when you do drink alcohol. But now we're going to tie all of this together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through what sort of plan would enable us to do Barry's, what sort of plan you should be doing if you want to make sure that you're getting the best results, and how we can tie this all together with our nutrition as well. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you'll know that I talk about a lot losing 30 pounds in 16 weeks, and also talking about how you can start to build definition and tone. Basically, that is the big thing that we talk about all of the time. And one of the big things that we work on, we've done with this with over 300 gay men across the world now as well, is we get them to a position where they pretty much just underwell, if that's even a word, fitness, and they break through any plateaus that they've kind of been going through. And I wanna give you this plan that you can start to follow from today to make sure that you're starting to see the results that you want. Now, if you're a big fan of Barry's, we're still gonna include these in, right? So the first layer that we have to think about is the results that we want to achieve. So do you want to be in a position where you're building muscle, or do you want to be in a position where you're getting toned, or do you want to lose body fat? What are the goals that you actually want to achieve? Because once we do this, it's going to enable us to reverse the process. Now, for the purpose of this video, let's just say we want to drop fat and build muscle, basically. Okay, so that's going to be the goal that we're sort of setting for ourselves here, which in its simplest term is called recomposition. So we're trying to get rid of any excess body fat that we're carrying, potentially a skinny fat at the moment, and we're looking to build a little bit more tone. So when you're wearing tank tops, you can see how good your arms look. When you're without a shirt on, you can see how good your body looks as well. So we have to reverse the process first and foremost. Now, what I want you to do first is set up your gym plan. Now, the reason I want us to prioritize this over the Barry sessions for the moment, this is going to be what enables us to predominantly get the results that we want, right? Now, what I would personally recommend is doing 3 to 4 times per week within the gym. Now, I'm going to give you a plan that you can just implement from today as well. I would go for something like a push, a pull, a legs, and an upper, or I would do an upper lower split, basically. So with this one here, you're going to do 2 upper days and you're going to do 2 lower days. And with this one, this is going to be predominantly more upper body focused. So if you want to grow more of the glutes, if you want to get bigger thighs, for example, you're going to want to follow the one underneath, which is the upper lower plan. If you want to predominantly focus on the upper body, getting a bigger chest, getting a bigger back, getting bigger arms, for example, the push pull legs upper is going to be a great split for you to follow as well. Now, within each one of these sessions, so let's just take the push, pull, legs, and the upper. For your push day, you're going to do 3 chest movements. You're going to do 2 shoulder movements, and you're also going to do 2 tricep movements, okay? So everything which is basically pushing. And for the pull day, you're gonna do 2 width movements. So what I mean by width is anything that you're pulling down. So a lat pull down machine, a pull up, for example, a single arm pull down, they're all gonna be width focused. Then you're gonna do 1 times thickness focused, okay? So the thickness one is gonna be more of like a rowing movement. So, you know, the T-bar rows, for example, they're gonna be great for that as well. And then you're gonna do 2 bicep movements, okay? Your legs, you're gonna do 1 quad, 1 hamstring, 1 glute, 2 compounds. So compounds would be things like squats, leg press, hip thrust, things that basically target multiple muscle groups. That's all gonna go into your lower day. And then on your upper day, this is really for you to do some stuff that you enjoy. Maybe you wanna add some more arm movements in there. This is what I call like the optimized day. So if you're someone that really wants to grow your arms, then this is where we'll predominantly train arms. If you want to really grow your shoulders, this is where we'll predominantly train your shoulders. Now, if you're going to be doing upper and lower, in its simplest term, your upper days is going to be chest, back, arms, and shoulders. Your lower days is going to be everything on the lower body, and you can create 2 separate days at this point as well. So you could have 1 glute focused lower day, you could have 1 quad focused lower day, you could have more of a chest focused upper day, and a more of a back focused upper day. But that's pretty much how we're going to set up your training. So we're going to be going to the gym 3 to 4 times per week. Now on the cardio front, this is going to be the next step, because obviously we still want to drop body fat. This is going to enable us to build muscle, everything within this section. This is really going to be what's building the definition and the tone. Now we need to set up your cardio, okay? So we've got really 2 options with our cardio. Obviously the purpose of this video, I'm showing you how to incorporate Barry still into your training program to make sure that you're achieving the results that you want. Now a Barry session is going to be anywhere between 45 to 60 minutes basically for 1 Barry session. So if we're doing 2 of those sessions per week, that means that we're going to be doing roughly 120 minutes of cardio at the top end, 90 to 120 minutes of cardio per week. So we've got 2 options. We can either do 2 Barry's classes to start in between this, and we can use these on our rest days, or we can do 4 sessions of 30 minutes of cardio on top of this, okay? So that could basically be anything from a stair climber. You could even do 1 Barry session and 2 steady state cardios. If it was me and I really loved Barry's and I still wanted to do it, the way that I would break it up is I would train, let's just say for the purpose of this video, we're doing an upper lower program. I'll do upper on a Monday, lower on a Tuesday. I would then do a Barry session on a Wednesday, upper on Thursday, lower on Friday. And within the upper and lower sessions on the Thursday and Friday, that's where I would add in 2 sessions of 30 minutes of steady state cardio, give myself the weekend to kind of just enjoy myself as well. And then the third thing, which is, like I say, the most important thing, so I'm going to do this in red, because this is going to be what enables us to hit the 30 pounds body fat loss. Is going to be what enables us to get the tone as well, is all around our nutrition, okay? So I've got to bend down and write this one, everything to do with our nutrition. So if we go back to the equation that I gave you earlier, we're going to take your body weight in pounds, we're going to times that number by 12, that's going to give us our calories, which is going to be 2,200. The next thing that we're going to work out is the amount, I thought my camera was dead then, is the amount of protein that we're going to be eating. So let's just say that's 170 to 220 grams per day. Now, a couple of things that are going to be important. If you're someone that loves to go out on the weekends, and you know the weekends are going to be a little bit of higher calorie, then all we're going to basically do is take away 500 calories from here. So that's going to be 1,700, which means your Monday to Friday, your calories are going to be a lot lower. So Monday to Friday, we're going to be having 1,700. And then on the weekends, that's where we're going to have 2 days of higher calories at around 2,800, which means the average is still going to be 2,200 across the week. Some things that you're going to keep an eye on when you're doing this. So there's going to be a couple of different components that we need to be making sure that we're looking for as we go through this journey as well. So a couple of things to be looking out for. Number one, if your body weight isn't going down, then we need to make a couple of changes. We need to either decrease your food or increase your cardio. So if body weight isn't coming down, we decrease food and increase cardio. Now, increasing cardio could come from anything with adding another Barry session in. It could come from increasing your steps. It could come from increasing the amount of time that we're doing the steady state cardio for. So these are going to be the two components that we basically look at if your body weight is not moving. The second thing that we need to look at is your strength. As soon as your strength starts to decline, then there's a couple of things that we potentially need to do. We need to step away from the gym for a few days. We maybe need to go up to maintenance and stop fat loss for a little bit of time, or maybe we just need to change our plan. Now, really simply, these are going to be the two big components that we're going to be looking at with body weight not moving and strength decreasing as well. These are two things that you're going to need to keep an eye on. So like I say, it's not that I think Barry's is terrible. I think it's great. I think though, from your perspective, the reason you're not seeing the results that you want is because you're only focusing on Barry. So if you want to get toned, if you want to drop up to 30 pounds in the next 16 weeks, these are the steps that you're going to need to take to make sure that you get the results that you want. Now, like I say, we run all of our guys through this exact process, regardless of whether or not they want to do Barry's. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what we do here as well, I've left my call book and link down below. I've left a video that you can go and watch. No pressure to jump on a call. Like I say, if you want to understand exactly how you can implement all of these things, go on here. If you don't, and this video has helped you, awesome, go and crush it. I'm excited to see the confidence that you build from implementing this as well. Have a lovely day. Take care.